Alright everyone, let's make a test or a quiz in Schoology. They're basically the same thing. They're mostly just subjective or objective answers, activities with those. You can set it up for tests to be weighted more than quizzes or whatever, but basically tests and quizzes use the same tool, instructional tool inside of Schoology. So I'm going to set one up. I'm going to go to one of my courses right here. I have a test course. And over here under Add Materials, I am going to add a test/quiz. You can see that even Schoology considers them the same tool. So I'm going to select that, and the first thing I get to do here is name it. And I could call it a Science Pre-Test Unit 1, or whatever you'd like. Then make sure that you pick a due date. Let's say that I want this. I'm creating it for the future, so I'm going to create it and say, well, I'm going to do this on the 28th. And from here, I can pick a grading category. Right now, I don't have one set up. Luckily, I can do it on the fly. So I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call this pre-tests. Because maybe I want pre and post tests, and I might want different grading options for each one of those. And pick a grading period right there. And let's see, numeric, sure, fine. Visible to students. I might want this hidden because I don't want them to see that this is coming up, and I could come back later next week and show them that we have a pre-test coming up. I could do that. Either way, I can show it right now or not. I can also take this test or quiz and enable statistics so students can see how they do anonymously in relation to the rest of their class. Comments here are regarding students searching for clarification. Also, I can individually assign this to different grading groups or individual students. Over here, over here I can copy this over to other courses. Fortunately, in tests and quizzes, I have to actually build it, then copy it. And I don't have another course set up, but look for that copy tool. I'm going to hit create, and now we're into our building module here. So across the top I have some tabs. The first one is where I build the questions, and right here I can use this button to add questions. Over here is the settings for the test or quiz. I can preview it. Over here I can see the results after students have done it, and here are those comments that I have left turned on for my students. They'll show up right here so I can answer them and address them. But over here in questions, when I click add questions, you can see that there are true, false, multiple choice, ordering, short answer, and essay questions, fill in the blank, and matching types of questions. Also, you can also save every question you make into your resources, and it'll become a question bank that you can pull from later in later years. That is a tool that'll be very useful down the road. We can also import tests and quizzes from different tools. I'll get into that later. You can also insert a page break, or you can insert text to further explain some of your questions. So right now I'm going to go through just a few of these. Definitely explore these. The nice thing about these is when I create a question like a true or false, I can use a lot of rich text here. I can say that the sky is falling. Whoops. That statement there, and it's got to be true or false. And I can actually use all this rich text. I can even insert images, links, mathematical symbols. I can upload videos. I can add links to other websites right here. So some of my text can actually be links. And I also have bulleted lists. I can also change the color of the text and the size of it. If you really want to get crazy in all of these, you can actually write an HTML in there and get it to do really crazy things. Let's see. Down here I have a point value here of 10 points for it. It says here the correct answer, I want it to be false. The sky is indeed not falling. So when a student selects true, they'll lose 10 points. If they select false, the correct answer, they keep the points. So we also have a require correction if false. They can immediately change it. Maybe on a pre-test, I do want this. And I can type in a phrase and I can say, okay, well, they get half of that 10 points for this. Down below, subjective question. This will make it not graded. Also timed. When they enter this question, they have so long to answer it. I'm going to leave that there and hit create question. And I'm going to demonstrate one more for you. Let's see. And ordering, matching, fill in the blank. These are great. I'll do a fill in the blank. The sky is, and I use 1 underscore for it. It says to begin, simply type the sentence you want. For words that you want to be blank, simply enter an underscore, 1 underscore, not a whole line of them, and you will then be prompted with further instructions. Okay, fine, I'll take this. I still have all my rich text editing. And a blank one, the answer, I have to add the answer. Falling. There. I can allow partial credit. I can create a word bank, so I can give them choices. Falling, screaming. Enter words that you would like to display in the word bank, but are not the actual answer. So these are going to be all the wrong ones. Separate each response on a line. Screaming, drawing, flying. I don't know. Can make them have to be case sensitive if they type it in, and of course I can time it. When I'm all done, the student will see all of these 4 responses in a word bank. And you hit create question, and we know that falling is the right answer, so that's going to be graded immediately as the student does this. So if I click over on preview, you can see that I have a true false. Question 1, the sky is falling. True, the sky is, sky is screaming. I spelled it wrong. And I can't really submit it because I'm not logged in as a student, but you see that it fills it in right there. And it grades it immediately. Upon submission of the entire quiz or test, it is immediately graded and the results will show up over here in the Results tab. This is helpful in the case that, I see our tech coach Austin Moore has to take this. It shows how many submissions in the latest attempts, but I can also dive into this and correct any short answer or paragraph written questions. Let me go over to settings. Right here, I can have instructions for the whole test. Please take this pre-test. I can also use all of the rich text editing. I've seen people use insert videos and images and all this stuff. Right now it says hide now, so Austin won't be able to see it. I have some choices here to use: available now until a certain time, available from a time until another time, and hide now. If this is hidden now and you deploy it to your kids, they will not see it. So that's a common mistake, to make sure that it says available now on the day that you want them to do it. Time limit, I can say sure, I want a time limit. It should take them 30 minutes to do this. Attempt limit, it's a pre-test, so maybe I just want 1 time. I've seen people do practice tests where they would like the student to try it 3 times, and they use this, randomize the order, so that the questions are in random orders. Paging, use page breaks or 1 question per page. You can decide which one you want to do. If you set it up with page breaks, you probably want to select this, but if you didn't use page breaks and you want 1 question per page, certainly use that. Question review, this will show the kids the questions at the end and how they answered them. It's always good to get them to reflect before submitting. Is it resumable? Is this something that if they don't get done, that they can take later on? Maybe at home or something like that. Some people don't want this and some people do. Every use case is going to be different. Some people do this. What if we run out of time? Well, don't make it resumable, but the next day you can come into the settings and then again make this test resumable. View submissions. Let's let the kids see the answers. Immediately when they turn it in, they'll see how they scored. So yes, with correct answers. And you can hide point values or leave it there. At the end, I have to click Save Changes, and I'll be all set to go. That is an example of how to make a test or a quiz. Again, I did not go over all the types of questions. You'll have to play to figure out some of the stuff about ordering questions, multiple choices, short answer, essay questions, and matching. But they're pretty self-explanatory when you look at the settings. So there you go. That's making a test or a quiz in Schoology. Oh, you know what? I probably should go back and show you one last thing before I check out. Let's go to the science pretest right here. I wonder, right up here in the corner, I can copy this to another course if I want. Right from there. If I go into my tests and quizzes, there it is. Science pretest. I wonder, right there, I can copy it to a course also. So there you go. That's how you make it once and then send it out to all your other courses. Hope this helps.